So Valerie just sent me this. So rude, yet so true. It's a 2-cup kind of morning. I'm just saying. Hello everyone. Today we are going to teach a layback spin. It is an optical illusion and it looks a lot harder than it really is because 90% of the work is done by the hips. The hips don't lie. All right, let me show you how it goes. Here we go. The first thing I do is I take the skater to the wall and we do a lunge position. The free leg position is critical here, and we need to make sure we get it right, and then everything else seems to fall into place. So I use a lunge to show what that position should look like. From the knee down, the foot should be flexed. Normally in skating, we want you to point your toe, but here we actually want you to flex the foot so that from the knee down, it is parallel to the ice. So let me show you what that looks like. Lunge, and then put your knee on the ice and bend it in closer. So now try and hold that position and come up. That's right. Excellent. The next step is to teach the two positions. And the two positions are position 1 to start very open, and 2, you actually turn the left foot, but the right foot stays where it is in space and hits that lunge position. Let me show you what that looks like. Good. Position 1, position 2. Nice. Once the skater understands those two positions, we actually put it out in the real world and spin that way. Good. There we go. Good. And finish. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you're trying to, now we're going to do position 1 and then position 2. Excellent. Good. When the skaters are doing these two positions and spinning, I try to explain that the free leg should feel like a ribbon trailing behind the skating leg. So if I turn it this way so you can see it, it should look like it's trailing rather than stiff. It should look like it's floating behind everything else. So the next step is to get those hips involved. So 90% of the layback work is done by pressing your hips forward like a back bend. I actually call it the couch potato slouch. I actually want them to slouch instead of arch. So you're in your position 1, and I want you to press your hips forward and actually relax your torso so that your hips can get as far forward as possible to create a really nice arch in your back. So the next step is to do position 1, position 2, and press your hips forward. And what you'll see is when I demonstrate it, you'll see how fast I end up going because I'm creating this circle behind me by pressing the hips forward and bending the free leg. You'll see what I mean. All right, so let's go to some chalk talk, shall we? So I believe that all spins, as I've said before, have a shape. So the position 1 that we're trying to get to is here just to be nice and open. And if we look at it from the side when you do a layback, it actually looks like this. Now it looks like the skating leg is bent, but it's not. It should be straight, hopefully, and pressing those hips. So the original position 1 was here. The head goes back, the hips go forward, and that opposition is what keeps you balanced. So a lot of skaters get afraid and they say, oh gosh, I'm going to fall on my head. You won't as long as you're pressing your hips forward because that is the center of your body, right? The center of the spin ends up being the center of this circle that you're trying to create back here. So the more your head goes down, the more the foot presses up, the faster the spin. And then the arms can be here or in or wherever you want the arms. There's lots of options there, but really get those hips pressing forward and half your work is done. Once the athletes get the feel of doing position 1 and 2, using the hips, getting everything going, and feeling centered and balanced, that's the biggest thing, is you want to make sure they feel safe and balanced and secure. Then you can start to lay back. Now, I am going to give you the absolute worst analogy in the world, but it makes sense. So I want you to pretend like you have sticks coming out of your nose, and when your arms come up, it forces your head to go back. Terrible, I know, but it works because you need to get your head back in this layback and get your chest even with your fingertips and your head beyond that. So it's like you make a picture frame, but you don't want your head to be in the picture. You have to get your head all the way back. Now, I will say that this part of our necks is so much tighter because of phones and devices. So you really have to work on stretching that or massaging it out so it can loosen up.
Nice. Good, Suzanne.
Here is Caitlin demonstrating a beautiful layback, and you can see the ribbon-like free leg that she does really, really beautifully. It's always great to see spins in slow motion. So you can see that Caitlin's head and foot right here are equal and opposite, and the center of that spin will be directly in the center of that circle that she has created. At the very least, I hope you have found this educational, if not a little entertaining. You can always hit me up at haveanicedaycf@icloud.com with any comments, questions, any help you need. I'm here for you. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and make sure you have a nice day.